Can I ask what percentage of your students go on to do masters elsewhere?
We have a fourth year of our degree, which is called Part 3. So the first 2 years are called Part 1A, Part 1B. And the third year is called Part 2. And there is an optional Part 3, which leads to an MEng degree, as opposed to just a BA, and is accessible to people who get the first in the Part 2. So about 40% of our graduates get the first, and of those 40%, those who wish may go on to the fourth year, which is running more or less in parallel with our MPhil program that accepts people from other universities who are only accepted on the basis of getting the equivalent of a Cambridge first. And this thing is heavily oversubscribed, and we may be making improvements to it. We may change the admissions requirement. This is the rules for this year, which may be subject to revision. We view that master's program as a preparation for research, as a kind of try before you buy, instead of doing a PhD, which is a commitment to at least 3 years. I mean, a PhD nominally is minimum of 9 terms. Very few people finish the PhD in 9 terms, unfortunately, so they waste a lot more time than that. It costs more money and so on and so on. But even just 3 years is a big commitment of time and money, and so it's better to give people a chance to figure out whether they like research, because it may sound great, but not everybody actually likes doing it, because research is the stuff that we don't know if there's an answer. We don't know if what you're doing is going to work or not. And when you are an undergraduate and you have to do your final year dissertation, if I am your director of studies, I make very sure that the problem you're tackling for your final year does not contain research. Because I don't want you to be in the situation, oh, we didn't know if it was going to work. Now that I spent several months on it, I know it's probably not going to work. Then what do you do? I want you to do something where if you work seriously, we know you're going to get a good mark. So it has to be something we already know it can be done. So no research other than as an optional extension for undergraduates. But instead, in the master, you are going to do something that's a bit researchy, so that you try what it's like, this thing where you do things that could fail, and sometimes they do fail. And I mean, is this so humiliating that you would not want to continue with that? Or is this something where there's a challenge and you're happy with the challenge, and you're happy to reorient your plans to something different, where you recycle this failure into something that's still valuable? And if you like that, then maybe research is for you. And so in that sense, this 1-year master program, or Part 3, is a try before you buy for research, and we hope that the people do that and then apply for a PhD. Unfortunately, it looks like we have quite a few people who do the Part 3 or the master and then don't do a PhD, which is a bit sad. But we have observed that. I mean, in my time, there were more people. I mean, actually, I think we introduced this thing sometime around 2010 or so. So before that, we didn't really have this particular MPhil, and so people would go into the PhD after a BA or from some outside university, and so they wouldn't have this buffer to try. But it should be said that not all master's courses in computer science are the same, and other universities have another type of master's course, which we used to have and we no longer have, which is for people who had done another subject and now want to convert themselves into computer science. Say, I was an accountant, but now I see that I do so much stuff with computing. I want to actually have a qualification in computer science. And so that thing, which used to be called the diploma in computer science, would take 1 year to basically give you the basics of computer science to an adult who already has a degree in something else. So we don't start from zero, spoon feeding you like we do with 18-year-olds who come just for a BA. But it was meant for people who didn't have a computing background and wanted one after, without having to redo the whole degree. And so we no longer offer this, but other universities may offer that And so it should be stressed that the master we offer is not a conversion course. It is for people who already have a first in computer science.